Okay, hi everyone. Sorry about that. I'm just having a bit of transmission issues here. Happy Monday. Well, welcome back to Money Mondays and happy June. Where's the year gone? I feel like just a few months ago we were saying Happy New Year, and now here we are once again. We're not saying Happy New Year anymore. We're counting down to the last 6 months of the year. So this is an opportunity for everyone really to reflect on what have we done with the last 6 months. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is the £100 a month challenge. Now, before I go any further, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Noctula, and for those of you who don't know my story, I am a single mom. I am hustling like everybody out there. I'm trying to pay my bills. I'm out there trying to do whatever I can, whether it's professionally, 9 to 5, and as well the side hustle as it's known. And for some people, and I'm hoping one day my side hustle is going to turn into a full-time hustle. So, when did the £100 a month challenge start for me? So let me just give you a bit of history. Basically, sometime last year, February to be precise, I felt that I needed to up my game. And the question became, how can I get more money in the budget? And the best way for me to do that was I had to figure out, instead of thinking, how can I make £10,000 a month? I had to start from basics, which is how do I start at £100 a month? I think the biggest challenge many of us have is that we want to start too high. And that often demotivates you. Whereas if you start slowly and you start building up, then you gain momentum. So the key factor is the fact that at that time, it wasn't even £100 that I had in February 2019. It was £85 to be exact. And so I started to see what I could do with it because I needed to multiply it. Lo and behold, I'm pleased to say that a year later, that £85 had turned into £3,000 for me. And I was really happy. It did help me out. Did I make that money from stock market trading? The answer is no. At this point in time, I looked at other things that I could do financially that would add to, my bottom line. I don't like to be reliant on one thing, and I'm always looking to see what else is there that I can do that can bring in a greater return on investment. So for those of you who don't know what return on investment means, is basically, if say I have £100 and maybe I do an activity or a business with that £100 and I only make £10 profit out of it, then that means my return on investment becomes 10%. But if there's an opportunity out there that I can use with that same £100 and make £30, then my return on investment would automatically become 30%. So those are the kind of things that we're looking to do. So before I give you some ideas, I have to tell you that this £100 a month challenge does come with specific rules. So this money that we're looking for, the £100, is not coming from the budget. So if you didn't do exercise 1 where we were talking about finding the money that already exists in the budget, please don't jump to this. What I suggest you do is go back to the first exercise, do that one, then upgrade in that. Because the bottom line is, if your issue is spending excessively, it doesn't matter even if you find £10,000 out there in a business, you are still going to spend excessively. There's no point. But if you've been able to cut down on the excessive spending, as we spoke previously, in finding money in the budget, and now you start to make this extra £100, you'll find that you'll be able to see mileage out of it. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 of this £100 a month challenge is you need to define a goal. So a lot of times in business, we say establish what your why factor is. What is the reason that you are doing exactly what you're doing? Many of you, your answer is, I need more money. Unfortunately, that's not good enough, because when you tell yourself that, that's not going to keep you going in the long term. So for example, my why factor as to why I'm looking for this extra £100 per month is because I need it for Christmas. We are already in June. So what that means to me, bottom line, is there's 6 months left to Christmas. And as silly as it may seem that Christmas is not important, guess what? Most of the people here in England, what you will find is that they purchase their Christmas items on a credit card, and it takes an average of 8 months for a person to pay off that credit card. Your £100 per month in a challenge may be, hey, COVID-19 has happened, I need more money, and things are just not adding up. So you need to understand that, because there's going to be days when you're not going to feel like doing this extra work, especially if you already have a 9-to-5 job. So if your goal is not clearly defined, what's going to happen is you're going to be demotivated, you're going to drop off, you're going to look for the next hot thing. But when your goal is clearly defined and you've documented it somewhere, it's going to help you build momentum. You're going to be like somebody running a race. Number 2, here's the thing, you're going to need to keep records. If you're looking to make money, and if somebody says, let's bake cakes, or let's do this, or let's do that, if you're not keeping records, how do you know it's not working? And those records don't even have to be an Excel spreadsheet. Just an exercise book where you know that, okay, I started this project, I invested £100, I've managed to make £200, and then the next month I've only made 50, and then those records will help you to look at what did you do the previous month that worked and how to fine tune it. And I find for me, now when I keep records and when I'm feeling like lazy or it's the wrong time of the month and I just don't want to do something, those records help to give me that momentum for me to kick myself back into shape and to start doing it. So rule number 3 with this £100 a month challenge is you're going to have to be open to experimenting. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be introducing new concepts of how you can make money. Some are going to be online, some are going to be passive, some are going to be active. But here's the thing. If you're not open to experimenting, how are you going to find out what works for you and what does not work for you? So the things I'm going to talk about today are things that ideally are supposed to help you add some extra to the budget. Most of them are really about passive income. So this is where we're going to start. I'm actually going to start giving you some ideas, but what I'm expecting from all of us ladies is that the bigger picture is what you take from that is you now go back to your drawing board and you start looking at other ideas you have. So these are my 3 favorite ideas. These are the ideas that have made me the most money. What I love about them are 4 things really. To do these activities, you don't need to pay any joining fee. All you need is an email address. All you need is a PayPal or a bank account. All you need is internet access. And like I said, there's no payment required. So let's start with number 1. So Fluidstack. I don't know if many of you have heard of a company called Fluidstack. So who are they basically? They are what you call a cloud service provider. So if you look at Google Drive, that's cloud. If you look at OneDrive, that's cloud. So Fluidstack, they provide cloud service platforms. And what they basically do is they want to rent your broadband when you're not using it. So when your computer or your laptop is idle at that point in time, what they basically do is you give them permission via your laptop or your computer to access it. And based on the speed of your internet, they can pay you up to £50 per month. So you don't have to do anything. You just apply to Fluidstack, they put in a note there, you go through the process, and it's that simple. So you don't need to take any notes at the moment as I discuss these things. All you just need to do is just listen to me, please. And then I'm going to put some notes on the same platform. And if you go to my page, which says masteryourmoney.com, Master Your Money on Facebook, you are going to find all those notes. They'll have all the links. So, I mean, come on, that's free money. Who doesn't want a free £50 they haven't worked for? You're already paying for your internet. So why not allow somebody else to use that cloud when you're not using it, when you're at work or when you're sleeping, and then every month they send you a certain amount of money. So this is now going to be down to how many megabytes you get on your broadband per second. If you're getting, say, 500 megabytes per second, you're going to get the maximum amount. They don't use any of your personal information, so you don't need to panic. You know, nobody's going to be stealing your details. And then my second favorite bottom line is testing time. I don't know if you've heard about market research. I never used to take that seriously, but here's what I then eventually did. With Testing Time, it takes 3 minutes, you register with them. If they have a survey that is going on, what they basically do is they'll send you an email. This is the reason why I suggested you need to have your own email account. You don't want to have your general email account that you use for all the garbage and trash you're already getting. Open another email account, maybe with Google Drive, that you know is specifically for passive income or active income. Because what normally Testing Time does is they will send you an income and say, hi Noktula, we're looking for 10 people to do a market research. It's going to be via Skype or via Zoom. Please log on to our website, see if you qualify. These tend to fly off the shelf quickly, which is why I'm saying get a separate email so that when it gets in, you get notified and then you log on. What I love about Testing Time is just like as I'm speaking to you from my living room, they will then pretty much schedule an appointment, do the research with you. They might be asking you what you think about body lotion or what you think about Microsoft. Who knows? Who cares? After you've done it, it's normally maybe an hour. They will then basically send you your money within, say, about 10 days. And they normally do it via PayPal. And I think with Testing Time, you might have the option to do it via your bank account. So the third option, which I really like, is called Respondent. Respondent is a market research company as well, and they work with the major companies. They work with Microsoft, they work with GoDaddy. So they're not working, it's not one of those obscure ones, no. And what they basically do is they have these large companies and market research providers, and they basically match them with you, the participant. And through Respondent, they can offer sometimes up to £250. That's just to do some market research. It depends on what they're looking for. Now, these are the three biggest ways that have helped me to add extra income. So that for me is my £100 a month challenge to you. So if you can take it upon yourself to register for these three sites, Fluidstack, Testing Time, Respondent, they're the ones that give the most money. I am going to put it on my Facebook page. All the links will be there. So all you're just going to do is click on a link, register your details, and you can snoop around that same website if you want to know more information. Over the next few weeks, I will give you some other sites. We're going to explore quite a number of things. I don't want to inundate you and download excess information to you now. So at the end of the day, what I also want to challenge you on your end that you need to do in addition to those three ideas, if that sounds good to you, is what are your what's your way of making money? What happened to that baking idea you always plan to do? Those cakes you plan to sell, those events planning that you were planning to do. It's COVID-19. Most of us are at home. How long are you going to be sitting on this idea and watching other people build empires? So how about finding 100 quid a month and seeing what you can do to get started? And just to give you a bit of motivation, I wanted to give you a story. You know, I've learned a lot as I'm communicating with people and I listen to inspirational stuff. There's this woman in Nigeria. Her name is Ayo Megbope. She runs a company called No Leftovers. Basically, what this woman did is she asked her husband for money to buy groceries for 1 week's worth of stuff for her family, herself, husband, and 3 kids, 5 people. Husband gave her a note, 1,000 naira. That's 20 pounds. And if you're in South Africa, that's about 400 rand. And she looked at it, it's like, how am I going to feed my family with a 1,000 naira note? So she now takes it to the market and buys a bag of beans. With this bag of beans, what this woman does is she figures, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do rice and beans. I'm going to do moi moi, which is like a bean pudding that is really quite popular in West Africa, or some people call it a bean cake. She makes that and she makes it in bulk. And then her sister-in-law comes over and takes some of her stuff and she loves it. And she says, can I take some of this? She takes it to work. When she takes it to work, guess what's happening? Some people now say, this is really good. Where did you get it from? Can I make an order? And she says, my sister-in-law makes it. So just that exercise with that 1,000 naira, this woman now started to receive orders. So she went from making bean cakes, she started making, started catering, buying food and stuff like that. So nothing amazing there, But that changed one woman's life. So what is it that you're sitting on that can change your life, that you know you can do? I cannot sew to save my life, but I love wearing African clothing. Some of you can bake, but you can't even be bothered, and some of us can't find our way around the kitchen. So anyways, to wrap this up, with Ayomegbope, she's doing this, she's cooking and everything. And then the African Women's Development Fund opens up. And then they say they're looking for people to sponsor and to train and to take to America. Guess who they choose? She's one of the group of 100, I think, that they took to the US that year. So as part of the contestants, what they basically then say to them is that you guys are going to cook, present your food to Michelle Obama. She's not going to taste anything, just show it to her on a platter. So then she goes, she presents the stuff. And then the next thing Michelle Obama says, oh my gosh, is that moi moi? And she's like, yes. And then she grabs it and starts to eat too. And the idea was Michelle Obama's not going to touch anything. So that's how this woman started with her 100 pounds. So what are you doing with yours? So if you're looking for the 100 pounds, I've given you the ideas. Start with that. If you already have the 100 pounds, start working on that project that you've always planned to work on. So I hope this has really encouraged you. And next week, I'm looking to talk about how we can look at other ways of making money. And I'm also going to be doing a review of Bitcoin Vault. So I know a lot of people who are in the Southern Africa area have been talking a lot about Bitcoin Vault, what it's about and everything. I've done my research. I'm just doing a summary and a write-up, and then I'll be able to talk to you about it. And so we can discuss, is it worth investing in, or should you just stay away? So it's going to be a completely independent review. I'm not getting remunerated for it. It's just my take on it, because at the end of the day, I'm a businesswoman like all of you. I'm looking for ways to increase my money. So at the end of the day, ladies, just check out Master Your Money. All the notes are going to be there. Just give me, I would say, about half an hour. I'm just going to upload it. So if you want to pursue that market research for the extra money, if you want to do Fluidstack to run it off your internet, please go ahead. Let's make some extra money and move up to the next level. Thank you so much for your time. And once again, see you next week. Take care. Bye.